There is a special power in this right here. This, it has a unique power in that it grants power to things. So, a lot of times people will say, I succeeded because of that over there. Or I succeeded, or I failed because of that. And when we do that, we are using the magic that this has to grant power to those other things. So anything I say is responsible for my success or my failure. It now holds that power. So now I must rely on whatever that is to fail or succeed. So if I say, this thing over here is responsible for my failure, well, now I must also rely on that thing to be responsible for my success. The other way, if I say something is responsible for my success, then I'm also reliant upon it, or I can, this is probably a better thing to say, is I can blame that thing when I fail. And so a lot of times we like this to be external to us, because I don't want to point at me and say, this is the reason for all of my failures. But it is. You see, with this, I grant myself that power. I say, you are responsible for everything good that has happened to you and everything bad that has happened to you. Even if it's just putting myself in the right or the wrong situation. So someone could say, well, my success came from luck because I ran into the right person, the right mentor. Well, sort of. But you put yourself in that position. You made yourself available to find that mentor. You allowed them to come into your life. And so you are responsible for that success. When I say something else is responsible, and actually let's talk about why people like authoritarian governments. So if I push to enact a more authoritarian government where the government is in control of everything, the government is responsible for everything, then what am I doing? I'm taking all of that responsibility for failure, and I don't have to deal with it anymore. I don't have to take responsibility for that failure because now someone else has it. Now this authoritarian government has it. Oh, well, my family starved to death, but that wasn't my fault. That was because of this authoritarian government. Or we got food this week, but that wasn't because of me. That was because of the government providing it to us. So that's why people like these authoritarian governments. But there's this book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And in there, it's Robert Kiyosaki. He says the poor dad says, I can't afford that. But the rich dad says, how can I afford that? And so you see, this is pointing to that responsibility. It's using this. And there's an old tale of the Minotaur in the labyrinth. And in order to escape the labyrinth, you must get past the Minotaur. So every time I'm unable to escape that labyrinth, I can point and I can say, that Minotaur over there, that Minotaur stopped me from getting out of this labyrinth. Or I can point at myself and I can say, I failed to find a way around that Minotaur. That is my fault. Better yet, I can just say there is no Minotaur, and I can just walk out of the fucking labyrinth.